Iguodala to Curry, back to Iguodala, up for the layup. Oh, blocked by James.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to At the Buzzer Sports, where we talk all things basketball and football all the time. I'm your host, John Drummond, aka Top Tier Analyst. And today, in this episode of At the Buzzer Sports, we're going to be talking about how the Los Angeles Lakers can beat the Denver Nuggets. It might be crazy. A lot of people are about to hit the comments like, yeah, the Lakers got swept last year, this, that, and the third. The Lakers aren't getting swept this year. The Lakers are not getting swept this year. I know they're not getting swept this year. Just off the simple fact that the Lakers are a way better team than they were last year. Last year, they were 43-39. This year, they're 47-35. 12 games over 500. Last year, they were 4. And I like some of the things that the Lakers are able to throw at Denver, but today we're going to be talking about some key things that I think the Lakers should really be focused on. Some things I think they did wrong last season and some of the X factors in this series. So the first thing I want to talk about is when the Los Angeles Lakers got swept last season. In game 1, they came out with a starting lineup of Dennis Schroeder, D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, and Anthony Davis. This is ridiculously small against a team like Denver. Ridiculously small against one of the best offensive rebounding teams in the league. And when I watched that game over, the Denver Nuggets had 5 offensive rebounds in the first 5 minutes of the game. It was one possession where Jokic may have pulled down about 2 offensive rebounds. They missed 2 shots, and then they end up getting a wide open 3. That is not something we can afford, or that is not something they can afford this series. You can't have those 3 guard lineups. You can't have them out, period. When Nikola Jokic is on the floor, you cannot have 3 guards out there. I would imagine that the starting lineup would be D'Angelo Russell, Austin Reeves, LeBron James, Rui Hachimura, and Anthony Davis. I like that lineup somewhat better. I still feel like we're just a little bit too small, but I think that's the best lineup to start with. Now the next thing I want to talk about is the Lakers' key to success. The one thing I want to talk about is they need to win the non-Jokic minutes. When Nikola Jokic is off the floor, if you guys are up 3, you need to be up 8. If you guys are down 4, you need to be up 4 by the time Jokic comes back in the game. Now, I was looking at some lineups with Nikola Jokic off the floor. Their starting lineup for the Denver Nuggets, they have a 54%. They average 54% from the field, 40 from 3. They have a 126 offensive rating and a 62% true shooting percentage with a 13.6 net rating. Now, without Jokic, they have a 111 offensive rating, 117 defensive rating, and a negative 7.2 net rating. Now, I wouldn't imagine that Jokic would be off the floor too much in a playoff setting especially against a team like the Lakers. But when he is off the floor, it has to be capitalized on for the Los Angeles Lakers. And if Jokic comes back into the game and the lead is not cut, their lead is not cut, or the Lakers' lead has not grown, you have lost those minutes. Those are probably 4 or 5 minutes you are going to look back at the end of the game if you guys lose and be like, okay, we should have won those minutes. We should have won those minutes. Another thing I want to talk about is get as much second chance points as possible. Rebound the basketball. Box out. I spoke on this just a little bit earlier, so I'm not going to dive into this way too deep, but that is something I find very, very, very important. Now, another thing I want to talk about is what works for the Lakers. I want to see the Lakers get into transition as much as possible. The Lakers have the second highest scoring frequency percentage in the NBA behind the Phoenix Suns at 54%. That means over half of the time they're in transition, they are leaving with a basket. That's the 97th percentile. About 24 points per game for the Los Angeles Lakers come out in transition. That is the 4th most in the league. I think Denver does not get back as fast enough for the Lakers to be in transition. Usually when the Lakers are in transition, they are outnumbering the defense. When I watched the few games this season, when the Lakers get out in transition, it's either 2-on-1, it's 3-on-2. You have to win those matchups. You have to win those matchups. Few things I want to talk about with the Nuggets. The 4th quarter. The Lakers are one of the best clutch teams in the NBA, but the Nuggets have a stretch in every single game. It's not just the Lakers. It's not just the Lakers. It's against any team in the league. The Nuggets have a point in every fourth quarter where they get whatever they want. They get whatever they want. Everything. And that's something that the Lakers need to minimize. One thing you need to take away. Michael Porter Jr. can't go 10 for 10 again. He cannot go 10 for 10. Jamal Murray cannot average 32 in the series. Now, I'm not sitting here and saying you need to shut Jamal Murray down, but you need to make his day difficult. And we're going to talk about that a little bit later. We need to make Jamal Murray's day difficult. Because if you're going in, you're slugging it out with the Denver Nuggets for 3.5 quarters. Let's say by midway through the fourth quarter, the score is about 101 to 97. They're up 4. There's going to be a stretch in that last part of the game where you can look up and it's 117 to 104. Because that's how the Nuggets offense is ran. When they get the ball to Nikola Jokic in the middle, it is so hard to guard, whether it's Aaron Gordon in the dunker spot, Jamal Murray running a 2-man game with Nikola Jokic, or it's just MPJ and KCP in the corners. Because you're going to have to pick your poison. You're going to have to pick your poison. If you want to find a way to keep Aaron Gordon out of the dunker spot, maybe stretch him out to the 3-point line, you can live with that. You can live with Aaron Gordon taking multiple threes in a game. If the Nuggets beat you that way, hats off. Pat him on the back. But you have to pick your poison. It has to be the right poison against a team like Denver. Has to be. Now, the last thing I want to talk about wrapping this video up is I think the X factor for the Los Angeles Lakers is Gabe Vincent. Now, I know out of all the players, I'm picking Gabe Vincent because Gabe Vincent didn't play much against the New Orleans Pelicans. But he had a stretch where I was like, I want to see him guard Jamal Murray. It doesn't have to be the whole game. I'm not asking you to put him out on the starting lineup. But when he is in, I want him guarding Jamal Murray because he may not be the best defender, but I think without Jared Vanderbilt, he could probably be the best option to guard him for the simple fact is he's a pest. There's a difference between a lockdown defender and a pest. A pest is going to make you work for every single shot. He's going to make you work off ball. He's going to make you work with the ball in your hand. He's the type of guy that will hug you from the second you get the ball on an inbound and you're bringing the ball up to the point where you're running back on defense. He's going to hug you. He's going to make your job difficult. And I would love to tire Jamal Murray out if I'm the Lakers. Tire Jamal Murray out on offense, having him work off ball. Don't let him get through those screens with Jokic, and then we go back on defense and attack him. We attack Jamal Murray. Whether it's getting a switch, whether it's getting a matchup with Roy being guarded by Jamal, or LeBron being guarded by Jamal, or Jamal on an island against D'Angelo Russell, we need Gabe Vincent to be a pest to Jamal Murray. Now, I'm saying all this because I want to get my prediction in for this series. I've said all of this about how I want the Lakers to beat the Nuggets, but the Nuggets are still the best team in the league. So I'm going to take them in 6 games. I want to say 7 games. I'm going to say 7 games before I say 5, but I think comfortably I don't think comfortably. I think the Nuggets end up winning this series in 6 or 7 games. 6 or 7 games. But if I'm the Lakers and I took the Nuggets to 6 or 7 games, there's nothing to walk away. There's nothing to walk away with your head down for, because this is the best team in the league with the best player in the league. And Mike Malone is a top 5 coach in the NBA. Anyway, that's all I got to say for y'all. This was just on my mind. I'm going to be doing more series. I already broke down the Clippers versus the Mavericks. Now this is the Lakers versus the Nuggets. I'm going to be doing the 76ers versus the Knicks. Maybe that video will be out tomorrow. I need to upload multiple ones of these because the playoffs are on Saturday and it's Friday. So, wow, it's way closer than I thought it would be. Okay, so I'm gonna put out maybe 4 or 5 more videos today. I already have my research done. I already have my notes done. So if you guys like this type of content, make sure you hit me with a subscribe button, and I'm out.